There's something undeniably powerful about being chosen, something sacred, something terrifying. To be chosen is to be seen, really seen for all that you are and all that you are not. And let's be honest, it's easier to hide. It's safer to blend in, to stay quiet, to avoid the weight of that spotlight. But you, my friend, have been chosen. Not just by those who love you, not just by the universe that holds you, but by forces that seek to challenge you, to break you, to bend your soul until it snaps. There's a darkness that has fallen for you, not in admiration, but in obsession. Because when light burns bright, even shadows become infatuated. You are that light. And light, no matter how small, terrifies the dark. This isn't a love story of tenderness. This is a battle of wills. You've been chosen because you are dangerous, not to the world, but to the lies the world tells you. You are dangerous to every whisper that says you're not enough. You are dangerous to every force that wants you to shrink, to stay silent, to believe that your story doesn't matter. You terrify those whispers. And so they come for you, but here's the truth that darkness hopes you never discover. You are not fragile. You are not breakable. Yes, you have wounds, and yes, you have scars. But scars aren't signs of weakness. They are proof that you survived, proof that you fought battles others never saw, and somehow you're still standing. Maybe not gracefully, maybe not without pain, but you are here and you are still rising. Being chosen doesn't mean the path will be easy. It means the path will be worth it. It means you have something so valuable, so irreplaceable, that even your enemies can't help but be drawn to it. But here's the secret. They don't get to win. They don't get to steal what's yours. Because the one thing more powerful than fear is love. Love for yourself, love for your story, love for the journey, even when the path is dark and uncertain. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the audacity to keep walking despite it. And bravery is standing tall when every voice tells you to kneel. You don't have to be fearless, you just have to believe that you're worth fighting for. And you are. So when the darkness whispers your name, let it. Be reminded that you are no longer afraid. You've been chosen, not because you are weak, but because you are unstoppable. The battle is real, but so is your strength. And in the end, the light always wins. Always. Being chosen means being truly seen with all your strengths and vulnerabilities. And isn't that what we all crave and fear at the same time? To be seen is to be exposed, and exposure feels risky. It's much easier to wear masks, to present only the parts of ourselves that feel polished and acceptable. But when you are chosen, there is no hiding. Every crack, every flaw, every brilliant piece of your soul is laid bare. And that can be terrifying. Yet it's also where the magic happens. To be chosen means someone, something has recognized the depth of who you are. Not just the surface, not just the version of you that the world finds comfortable, but the raw, unfiltered truth of you. And that truth is powerful. It's the kind of power that draws not only love and admiration, but also resistance and challenge. Because when you stand fully in who you are, unapologetically and authentically, you disrupt the status quo. You shake things up, you make waves. But here's the thing, being chosen is never about perfection. It's not about having it all together or being unbreakable. It's about being real. It's about being willing to show up even when your voice shakes. It's about owning your story even when it's messy. And that kind of raw authenticity, that kind of courage, it's magnetic, it's irresistible, not just to those who support you, but also to the forces that want to bring you down. When you are chosen, the world sees your light, and so does the darkness. And it will try to tempt you, test you, and convince you that you're not worthy. But you are. You always have been. And being chosen isn't a burden, it's a calling. A calling to stand tall, to stay true, and to keep showing up no matter how hard it gets. Because the moment you decide to embrace who you are fully and fiercely, nothing can break you. Not even the darkness that falls in love with your light. Light attracts darkness. Your inner strength and authenticity draw challenges. It's an unspoken truth that the moment you begin to shine, the shadows take notice. When you step into your power, when you start living your truth unapologetically, you become impossible to ignore. There's something about raw, unfiltered authenticity that unsettles the world because it defies expectations, breaks molds, and challenges the comfortable lies we're told to believe about ourselves. And that kind of light doesn't just illuminate, it disrupts. There's a reason why the moment you decide to rise, obstacles appear. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Darkness is drawn to light not because it wants to destroy it, but because it envies it. Your light becomes a mirror reflecting everything the darkness lacks: courage, honesty, vulnerability, and resilience. And in its twisted way, that darkness becomes obsessed with you. It falls in love with your strength, with your refusal to be broken, with your unwillingness to hide. But make no mistake, its love is not gentle. It is a love that seeks to possess, to control, to dim your brilliance so it no longer feels its own emptiness. The challenge isn't the darkness itself, it's the whisper it brings. The voice that tells you you're not enough, that you're too much, that you don't deserve the light you carry. But that voice is a lie. The very fact that you are being challenged is proof that your light matters. Weakness is never tested. Strength is. And your strength, it terrifies the darkness. The most dangerous thing you can do is believe in your own power, because when you do, no shadow can hold you, no obstacle can stop you, and no force can claim you. Your light is not fragile, it's fierce, it's relentless, and it is yours. And no matter how hard the darkness tries, it will never own you. It will never silence you, because you were chosen not to be consumed by the dark, but to illuminate it. And that is where your power lies. You are dangerous to the lies that aim to diminish your worth. The moment you begin to believe in your own value, you become unstoppable. There's a reason the world tries to make you doubt yourself, why voices, both external and internal, whisper that you're not enough. Those lies exist to keep you small, to keep you quiet, to keep you from realizing the power you hold within you, the power to live through you, within you, the power to live within you, the power to live within you. Because once you see your own worth, really see it, you become a threat to everything that thrives on your insecurity. There's nothing more dangerous than someone who knows their own value. When you stop seeking validation from the outside world and start trusting the voice within, the lies lose their grip on you. And that terrifies them. It terrifies every force that benefits from your self-doubt, because you were never meant to live in the shadows. You were never meant to question your place here. You were meant to shine, to lead, to rise. And the moment you embrace that, you dismantle every lie ever told to keep you from becoming who you were always meant to be. But here's the thing about lies, they're persistent. They'll come at you from every angle, disguised as criticism, comparison, fear, and shame. They'll try to convince you that your light is too much, that your voice is too loud, that your dreams are too big, but you are dangerous because you refuse to believe them. You are dangerous because you choose to keep showing up, even when the lies try to pull you down. You are dangerous because you know that your worth isn't negotiable. And when you stand in that truth, when you claim your worth unapologetically, you don't just silence the lies, you shatter them, you expose them for what they are: empty, powerless, and afraid. Because the moment you realize you are enough exactly as you are, the lies lose their power. They fall away, and all that's left is you, bold, brilliant, and unbreakable. You've been chosen because your light is a weapon, and no lie, no darkness, no force can ever take that away from you. Scars are proof of survival, not weakness. Every scar you carry is a silent story of a battle you didn't think you'd survive, but you did. It's easy to look at your wounds and feel broken, to see them as evidence of pain, failure, or defeat. But scars are not signs of weakness. They are reminders that you fought, that you endured, that you refused to let the darkness win. Every scar is a testament to your strength, your resilience, and your unwillingness to give up, even when giving up felt like the only option. There's a beauty in scars that often goes unnoticed. They don't mean you were never hurt. They mean the hurt didn't destroy you. The world may try to convince you that being wounded makes you fragile, that the cracks in your armor are flaws. But the truth is, your scars make you formidable. They show that you've walked through fire and emerged, maybe bruised, maybe burned, but undeniably alive. And being alive after the battle is the bravest thing you can be. Scars don't make you less, they make you more human, more real, more grounded in your truth. They are proof that you faced the storm and refused to let it drown you. And that, more than anything, is what terrifies the darkness. Because no matter how hard it tries, it cannot erase the fact that you survived. The darkness may have fallen for you, but it couldn't break you. And every scar you bear is a silent rebellion, a quiet but undeniable declaration that you are still here. When you wear your scars with pride, you strip the darkness of its power. You show the world that being wounded doesn't mean being weak, it means being brave enough to heal. And healing isn't passive, it's a choice to keep going, to keep believing, to keep fighting. You've been chosen not because you've never fallen, but because every time you have, you've risen. And every scar you carry is proof that no matter what the darkness throws your way, you will always rise again. Being chosen doesn't guarantee an easy path, but it ensures a meaningful one. There's a myth we often cling to, the idea that if we're meant for something, it should come easily, without struggle, without resistance. But the truth is, being chosen is rarely accompanied by comfort. It comes with weight, with responsibility, with trials that test the very core of who you are. And it's tempting to wonder why. Why, if you've been chosen, does the path feel so hard? Why does it sometimes feel like every step forward comes with a pushback? But here's what we forget. The path is hard because it matters. You don't climb mountains without effort. You don't build strength without resistance. And you don't become who you're meant to be without challenges that shape you, refine you, and demand more from you than you thought you had to give. The difficulty isn't a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's evidence that you're exactly where you need to be, because nothing meaningful is ever born from ease. It's born from the moments when you wanted to quit but didn't, from the nights when fear screamed loud but your courage whispered louder. Being chosen means that your journey isn't ordinary. It's unique, messy, and often uncertain. And that's exactly why it's worth it. The challenges you face are not punishments, they're invitations. Invitations to grow, to stretch, to become. They are the universe's way of asking you, how badly do you want this? How deeply do you believe in yourself? And every time you choose to keep going, you answer with your resilience. The devil that has fallen in love with you isn't drawn to your failures. It's drawn to your potential. It sees what you're capable of, even when you don't. And that's why it fights so hard to stop you. But every challenge you overcome, every moment you refuse to give in, is a step closer to becoming who you are always meant to be. This path, though hard, is yours. And while it may not be easy, it will be worth it. Every single time. Even darkness is drawn to what is valuable. There's something hauntingly true about the fact that the moment you realize your worth, the moment you begin to embrace your potential, the darkness takes notice. It's almost as if the moment you start shining, the shadows can't help but be captivated by your light. But this isn't a gentle admiration, it's an obsession. Darkness is drawn to you not because it wishes you well, but because it longs to possess what it can never truly have. You carry something rare, something untouchable, something so undeniably powerful that even the forces meant to break you are mesmerized by it. Your strength, your authenticity, your ability to rise even when the weight of the world tries to hold you down, these are the very things that make you irresistible to the darkness. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Being valuable doesn't mean being untouched by challenges. In fact, the more valuable you are, the more the darkness will try to claim you. It will come to you in the form of doubt, in the form of fear, in the form of every voice that tells you you're not enough. But its fascination with you isn't a reflection of your weakness, it's proof of your strength. The darkness doesn't chase what doesn't matter. It doesn't fall for what is ordinary. It falls for the extraordinary, for the bold, for the unbreakable. And that's who you are. There's a reason why your path feels heavier, why the challenges seem relentless. It's because what you carry within you is too valuable to go unnoticed. But here's where the darkness fails. It can fall in love with your light, but it can never own it. Your light is not up for grabs, not up for negotiation. And the more it tries to pull you in, the brighter you shine. Because being chosen means you were never meant to be possessed by the darkness. You were meant to illuminate it. And no matter how deep the shadows reach for you, they will never hold what is too brilliant to be contained. Love, especially self-love, is more powerful than fear. Fear is loud, persistent, and convincing. It knows every insecurity you carry, every doubt that lingers in your mind, and it uses them against you. Fear whispers that you are not enough, that your dreams are too big, that your light is too dim to matter. And when the darkness falls in love with you, it tries to amplify that fear, hoping that if it screams loud enough, you'll forget who you are. But love doesn't need to scream. Love doesn't force itself to be heard. Love simply exists, steady and unshakable, waiting for you to notice it. Self-love is not about being perfect. It's about embracing yourself exactly as you are, flaws, scars, and all. It's about looking at every crack in your armor and realizing that those cracks don't make you weak, they make you real. And when you begin to love yourself, not the polished version you present to the world, but the raw, unfiltered you, fear loses its power. Because love, true love, doesn't waver in the face of fear. It stands tall, unafraid, unapologetic. The darkness that has fallen in love with you is counting on your self-doubt. It's hoping you'll believe the lies it tells you, that you'll question your worth, that you'll dim your own light to avoid the fight. But the moment you choose love over fear, the moment you choose yourself, everything changes. Fear thrives in the absence of love. It feeds on your uncertainty. But when love enters the room, fear fades. Because love doesn't need to fight to prove its strength. It simply exists, and in its existence, it dismantles everything fear tries to build. Loving yourself in a world that constantly tells you not to is an act of rebellion. It's a declaration that you refuse to be broken, no matter how hard the darkness tries. Your love for yourself is the one thing the darkness can never touch, never control, never take away. And when you hold on to that love, when you nurture it and let it grow, you become unstoppable. Because fear may be loud, but love is louder. And in the end, love always wins, always. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to keep going despite it. It's easy to believe that courage means being fearless, that those who are brave have somehow silenced the voices of doubt and worry. But the truth is, fear never truly disappears. It lingers in the background, whispering its warnings, reminding you of every possible failure, every potential heartbreak, every unknown that lies ahead. Courage isn't about being immune to those whispers. It's about hearing them and moving forward anyway. The darkness that has fallen in love with you knows your fears intimately. It knows what keeps you up at night, what makes your heart race, what holds you back. And it uses that knowledge against you, hoping that fear will be enough to stop you. But courage is the quiet rebellion that says, I hear you, but I'm not stopping. It's the choice to stand up even when your knees are shaking, to speak even when your voice trembles, to take the next step even when the path is unclear. Being chosen means that your journey will demand courage, not once, not twice, but every single day. It's not a one-time act of bravery. It's a constant decision to keep going when every part of you wants to turn back. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Because courage isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. It's about facing the darkness head on, knowing that it wants to break you, but refusing to let it. The beauty of courage is that it doesn't need perfection. It doesn't ask for certainty. It only asks for one thing: that you try, that you show up, that you give yourself permission to be vulnerable, to be scared, and still move forward. And every time you choose courage over fear, you chip away at the darkness's hold on you. Every time you take one more step, no matter how small, you remind the darkness that you cannot be conquered. Because courage, real courage, isn't loud or flashy. It's quiet, steady, and relentless, and it is the reason you will never be defeated. Your journey is not defined by who or what tries to break you, but by your refusal to be broken. Life has a way of testing those who dare to dream, those who choose to stand in their truth, those who refuse to shrink themselves to fit the world's expectations. And when you are chosen, those tests don't disappear. They multiply. The darkness that has fallen in love with you will try to convince you that your challenges define you, that your failures are the end of your story, that the weight of the world is too much for you to carry. But that's not the truth. The truth is your journey is not measured by what you endure, but by how you rise despite it. Being chosen means that your path will be anything but easy. It means that you will face storms meant to break you, battles designed to wear you down, and voices that tell you to give up. But being chosen also means that you carry within you a strength that cannot be extinguished. It means that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise one more time. And that resilience, that refusal to stay down, is what defines you. The darkness will try to claim you, to own you, to bend you to its will. But every time you choose to keep going, every time you refuse to give in, you remind it that you are unbreakable. Your journey is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up even when you're tired, believing in yourself even when the world doesn't, and holding on to hope even when everything feels hopeless. Your story is one of courage, of strength, of relentless determination. And no matter what tries to break you, it will never succeed. Because being chosen means that you are built to withstand the storms, to defy the odds, and to shine even in the darkest moments. Your journey is yours alone, and it will be defined not by what tries to stop you, but by your unwavering decision to keep going. Always in the end, being chosen is not about living a life free of struggle. It's about embracing the struggles that shape you into who you are meant to be. The devil that has fallen in love with you doesn't pursue you because you are weak, but because you are powerful beyond measure. It is drawn to your light, captivated by your strength, and desperate to possess the brilliance it can never truly hold. But no matter how fiercely it tries, it will never break you, because your light is not something that can be extinguished. You have walked through storms that threatened to tear you apart, faced fears that whispered you weren't enough, and carried scars that tell the story of battles fought in silence. And yet, here you are, standing, breathing, fighting. That alone is proof that you are unbreakable.